So our next case study is stack with supporting operations push, pop, multi-pop, and there is one more operation called multi-push. So let me say I wish to perform multi-push of L, which means in one go we push L elements. This one in one go we take out K elements. If this is the sequence, if this is the framework, and when we look at input sequence, it could be anything. So it could be push, pop, say multi-push of say 4 elements, then multi-pop of 2 elements, then maybe push, pop, again multi-push say 6 elements, and so on. For any arbitrary sequence, we have to do the analysis and say for a given sequence of operations from this set, what would be the amortized cost. And remember, it is averaging argument in worst case sense. Okay. Which means if amortized cost says so much, it is average cost in worst case. And for any input sequence, the amortized cost will not exceed whatever is given by our analysis. Suppose we do classical analysis. If we do classical analysis, then for push it is constant, for pop it is constant, and for multi-pop of K it is order K or theta K, and multi-push of L is order L or theta of L. Now, how do we relate this with respect to N, which is our input size? Most importantly, how do we fix N? And because the operation, the number of elements keeps changing, right? At this place it is 1, then it becomes 0, and then it becomes 1 plus, then it is 0, 0 plus 4, 4. Then you take 2 out. So can we fix number of elements to be number of elements at a particular configuration? But that may not be the correct approach. So what we will do is, this represents number of elements. So for a given input sequence, just see push and multi-pop. The contribution from push and multi-push. So the number of elements inserted into the stack by push and multi-push operations. Suppose you say push here 1 plus 4, 5, 6, 7 and plus 6, so 13. So N is precisely 13. So for a given input sequence, identify the contribution by push and multi-push operations, that we fix it as N. Now this K can be a function of N, which means this one is theta of N, and even this can be theta of this. You may perform multi-push of say N by 4 and multi-pop of N by 10 and multi-pop root N, multi-push root N, multi-push log N. So these two can be function of N. So now classical analysis says these two are constant and these two can be function of this. Fine. So in general, multi-pop can be function of N. So order N, multi-push can be function of n. But remember, the contribution from push and multi-push will help for pop and multi-pop. So these operations are not independent. They are somehow related. So can we bring that as part of our analysis? Fine. That's our focus. Let's analyze with respect to aggregate analysis. Using aggregate analysis, let us see what is the cost. Okay. And like the way we did before, we don't know how many push operations are happening. So L1 into this, and aggregate analysis is simple average, right? So the worst case cost divided by number of operations. We don't know how many push or pop are happening, so it is this. Then we perform L3 number of say multi push, so something like this into some cost, and suppose there are k is already used, let's use something else. There are OR operations, then R minus L1 minus L2 minus L3 times the cost. So this is the cost of number of push and cost. This one is pop, this one is multi-push, this one is multi-pop, divided by the number of operations. So now we have assumed we perform OR operations, so we say number of operations is R. Correct? Now, what would be the cost of multi-push? In some places it is 4, some places it is 6, some places maybe log n, root n, and so on. So which means this is function of n. This is also function of n. So something like L1 into this plus L2 into this plus L3 into our input size is n, so let me say order n. Okay. Then R minus L1 minus L2 minus L3 in order n divided by number of operation R. Now the question is this a loose upper bound? Because we say micro level analysis and so on, by saying order n for both, are we doing a micro level analysis? So is this a good bound? Suppose it is pretty loose, which means our analysis will be weak. Okay. So now the question is this: are there input sequences where you get to see this? Because what is our focus? The input sequence is arbitrary. It could be anything. For an arbitrary input sequence, what is the amortized cost? It's something like when we do the analysis sorting, we look at cases, right? The best case, worst case, and so on. But for an arbitrary input sequence, if someone asks what is the complexity of insertion sort, we only say order n square. Because an arbitrary sequence can be best case or worst case or something in between. So there we only say cost is order n square. The similar way, is there an input sequence where we get to see these two are function of n? Okay. Suppose such a sequence is there, then amortized cost should focus that input sequence and assuming order n is a pretty good bound, because there are input sequences where it is order n. That is one. Let's look at this input sequence. Consider I to be, say, multi-push of n by 2, then multi-pop of, say, n by 2. So we are pushing for some n. We are pushing n by 2 elements, and we are taking n by 2 elements. How many operations? Number of operations is just 2. Now there is no push, there is no pop, it is only this. So what would be the cost? Cost for multi-push is n by 2, cost for multi-pop is n by 2, divided by number of operations. This is one operation, this is the second operation. So now you see that this one is theta of n. This shows that there are input sequences where we get to see this. Intuitively, you look at it this way. If the contribution from the numerator is a function of n, input size, and number of operations, denominator is constant. This is constant, numerator is a function of n. So which means on simplification, we get this. You can even consider push, pop, then multi-push of n by 2, multi-pop of n by 2. So all that will tell you denominator is constant, whereas numerator is function of n. So that shows that there are input sequences. For example, here is one for which amortized cost is this. And aggregate analysis says you simply assign this to all operations. So amortized cost of push, pop, and multi-push and multi-pop, for all of them cost is order n. Although some of them are cheap constant, but this analysis says you look at the average, and the same average you should assign it to all operations. We don't do it independently. We don't do it operation specific. That is what we do in other two analysis. In this, look at the average and assign the same to all of them. So case study is stack, and supporting operations are push, pop, multi-pop and multi-push. And multi-push and multi-pop can be function of n. How do we fix the input size? Input size we fix by looking at the number of elements inserted over push and multi-push operations taken together. And for a given input sequence, we don't know how many push are happening, how many pop, and how many multi-push, and so on. So we look at this expression divided by the number of operations. Then we ask, is there an input sequence where the numerator takes the maximum cost and denominator takes the least? When would that happen? If the numerator involves function of n and the denominator involves constant, such a thing can happen. And it turns out that yes, there are input sequences for which you see that the numerator is function of n and the denominator is constant. And so with this, we can conclude amortized cost of this data structure along with supporting operations, this one, and the cost of push, pop, multi-push, multi-pop is order n amortized. Some of them may be constant, some of them may be log n, but we only look at it from an average perspective, and we say through aggregate method we can only conclude it as order n amortized for all of them. Let's look at this data structure along with the supporting operations. and analyze from accounting perspective and potential function method.